Hello everyone and welcome to episode 103 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling Series here on the channel as we have the New Beginning Tour. And man, this New Beginning Tour, listen, I don't want to overhype it. I'll just say it's going to be a tour to remember as far as there's a lot of important things happening on this tour. As far as it's going to be one to remember, and it's going to be one that will be, as far as you're talking about the implications of the future, the present, as well as just as far as throughout this tour, you're going to see a lot of returns. You're going to see some turns. You're going to see some even retirement announcements as well. It's going to be pretty jam-packed. There's a lot to unpack here, that is for sure. But we start off, of course, in America, and we're going to be at the Lincoln Memorial Field. I always forget the name of the Eagles Stadium, but yeah, that's where we're going to go. That's where, obviously, WrestleMania is taking place in just a couple of months, actually, weirdly enough. Yeah, that would be 2024. But obviously here, in the year 2026, it would have been a couple of years removed. But this New Beginning show in the U.S., pretty fun show. Jam-packed with 4 title matches. Main event, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kazuchika Okada for the New Japan Strong Openweight title. So U.S. gets a Tanahashi-Okada title match. And also, Tanahashi, he technically, as far as it came down to him and Okada in the scramble match. But really, there was obviously a lot of other people involved in that matchup. So it makes sense for them to have a rematch where it's one-on-one. So it'll be pretty fun to see how that plays out. Obviously, Tanahashi, at this point in time in 2026, he is 49 years old. He is up there in age, that is for sure. But, him and Okada, of course, that would talk about the fucking feud of the 2010s and really kicked off them having just tremendous business throughout that decade. And they're able to maybe potentially have some more magic here in the New Beginning show in the main event here. But the co-main event, as it's a IWGP Women's title matchup, but it's involved a champions versus champion matchup, as it's the women's champion of AEW, Kris Statlander, taking on the IWGP Women's champion in Julia. As that's going to be fun to see how that plays out. As far as Statlander, we haven't really used her since November, so it's been a while. Obviously, just mainly been used in AEW, and obviously Julia has had the belt for a month now. Done really well with it so far, and this is a nice little challenge for her. She gets the American star in Statlander here in America. Obviously, Julia hadn't really worked. Obviously, she really has never worked in America, so very much a first time maybe for a lot of the American fans to be able to see her in action. So that's going to be exciting to see, but yeah, that's a fun little co-main event there. As for the U.S. title, I love how I put the United States U.S. title match. Let's just get rid of that. There we go. IWGP United States title matchup. Eddie Kingston, the challenger, taking on Moxley's worst nightmare. Of course, we still have not seen Moxley since he was put through the fucking center of the ring at the New Year's Dash show. In the hole in the ring, as far as from that perspective. So, as far as this is Kingston's kind of, he's been building up a lot of wins on Strong, and he wants to be the one to take out Moxley's worst nightmare. Well, obviously after he took his best friend in a lot of ways, as far as driving him through the depths of hell, if you will. As far as from that perspective, so that should be fun to see. A junior heavyweight title matchup: Hook versus Daichi Hashimoto. Of course, Daichi Hashimoto won the belts after winning the Junior Rumble, and as far as first defense here, after beating of course, winning it all at the Wrestle Kingdom show, gets a chance to take on somebody like Hook, who's going to put on a pretty good matchup, I think. As far as Suzuki-gun gets an opportunity to have a junior heavyweight champion here, and Daichi Hashimoto, this is a big night for him. It could be a big night for Lion Market in general, as far as Tanahashi becoming the strong openweight champion again, and if Hashimoto can retain, it's going to look pretty good. Order of Destruction versus Kyle O'Reilly versus Roderick Strong. Obviously, we know at the Osaka show, it will be Will Hobbs versus Hayato Tamura for the Intercontinental title. And, of course, we're building up to that with a little tag match here, as the Order of Destruction, they're going to look to, run through the team of O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. At least that's the plan, and have for Hobbs have some momentum going into the Intercontinental title matchup, but they could play the spoiler role. LIJ versus Designers of Perfection in an 8-man tag. So, as far as throughout Strong, there's been a little mini tournament going on to kind of determine the next Never Openweight title contender. And it was like it was a 4-man, actually, tournament. It was pretty small. It was Hiromu and Makabe, and then Nakamura and Miro. I was thinking it was Jay White, but it was Miro. And it came down to Hiromu and Nakamura. Hiromu beat him. And, of course, that will lead to the Sapporo main event, which is going to be, I said tomorrow. It's going to be Hiromu, Takahashi, and Sanada. So a little build-up here for the 8-man tag. That is a rematch, too. That happened back in November for the Never Openweight title. So it's going to be interesting to see what Hiromu can do. Obviously, him and Sanada, they have their history with being a part of LIJ. Now they've, obviously, he's got his own thing in Sanada, and he's looking to, maybe he's had a hell of a run, though. He has Never Openweight champion, of course, won in the co-main to retain his belt against Nakamura, and looking to keep that belt here. We shall see how that plays out. And then our second match on the card, Brody Lee, Black Taurus, and Evil taking on Hayato Tamura, Daniel Garcia, and Show. So obviously a little follow-up with, keeping this Dragon's Den, Dark Order kind of story going with 2 matches here on the New Beginning in the US show. Obviously we could have just made it a big-ass 10-man tag, but felt like it was easier to split it up into 2 matches here. So we'll see if it's going to be a clean sweep for one of the groups here today, or it will be a split down the middle, 50-50 type of scenario there. And of course, Tamura's looking to get some momentum into his first defense as an Intercontinental Champion. Then to kick off the show, Never Openweight 6-man tag team title matchup, House of Black versus the Death Triangle. As the House of Black, of course, will be Malachi, Robbie Eagles, and El Kukui. They're taking on, of course, the Death Triangle of Pac, Pentagon Jr., and Ray Phoenix. That's going to be a fun match. It's a fun opener. A lot of talent there. Could be a big night for the House of Black if they can keep the U.S. title and become the new Never Openweight 6-man champions as well. They'll be looking pretty good with the return of Tyler Black on the horizon. As, we got the show booked there in the background. Let's hop right into it. Alright, the opener, though, an 87. Pretty good stuff here as Pac, Pentagon Jr., and Ray Phoenix getting the win as Pac pinning Malachi Black after a 6:30 senton. Yeah, it's a fun opener, man. You get some high action with Pac, Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, Robbie Eagles. You got a lot of guys that can fly around and have some really, really good stuff. And, 61,000 people on hand for this one. A lot of excitement in the air for this one as far as to kick the show off like that. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And they retain their belts as well. 16 for the next trios match. Bit of a drop in. I could see why a lot of people would be like, why do you have the Never Openweight title match first, then this? Usually I like to make sure that if there's a title match with a certain, if it's a trios, title on the card, I want to make that as the highest trios match I can. But for this, I needed it to... it wasn't going to be a good technical masterclass matchup. It could have been. But I felt like to kick the show off to a strong start with the opener, then follow it up with this, was a better strategy. I could have went either way with that, honestly. Brody at a 59, Evil with a 56, and Black Taurus with a 69. Garcia with 70, though, as far as he did really well. Second best guy in the match. But, Hayato Tamura with an 82. Of course, the chemistry bonuses with both Garcia and Tamura with Danielson worked out really well. But, too short of a match for somebody like Tamura involved. But, I like the match overall. He gets the win with a submission over Black Taurus as well, with the Just Face lock. 81 for the 8-man of Designers of Perfection in LIJ, as the Designers of Perfection get the win. Paris de Silva pinning Bushi here as, Bushi, Shingo, Naito did about the same in the kind of high 60s, but then, of course, Hiromu being just the guy of the match. Incredible stuff there. Sonata with an 84. Good stuff all the way around, as far as Sonata is, of course, just leading his Designers of Perfection with his Never Openweight title reign. Paris de Silva, he's able to at least get booked while Jude London's hurt. But it's not great, for him to be able to just be involved as like a multi-man guy. We'll see, though. Maybe he'll go on a singles run in the junior side of things. You never know. That was an 81-82. Ferrari and Kyle O'Reilly against Will Hobbs and Calvin Tankman. Tankman still dealing with that injury. An upset. Relatively close, but an upset nonetheless as Hobbs beating O'Reilly. So you see both challenger and champion getting some big wins, on the New Beginning USA show. Then a 76 for Daichi Hashimoto and Hook. Fun match here. He beats Hook with the vertical drop ring buster, and that's his first offense. This would be a really good match, though. As far as this is a weird match where no one would assume this would be a good match, probably if you just kind of threw these names out here, but or maybe not really. I think for those who know their backgrounds, they would have known it'd be a pretty fun match. But if someone just kind of brought up a Hook Daichi Hashimoto match, it's probably not going to move the needle or anything. But what these guys have is some great legitimate backgrounds. Of course, the judo skills of Hook and what he can do from that perspective. But Daichi Hashimoto's a hell of a kickboxer. He actually did a couple of exhibition fights as far as, kind of getting his start. That's kind of how we got into professional wrestling, was through his kickboxing background, obviously because of his name, but he's a pretty solid kickboxer. And this would be a fun match, though. I think they'd be able to do a lot of fun stuff, a lot of legitimate spots with their kickboxing backgrounds and their judo backgrounds. It'd be a pretty fun junior match. It'd be a different type of junior match than we're used to seeing. Really, this would be kind of more like an All Japan style junior heavyweight matchup where you have guys that have these legitimate backgrounds are able to do some pretty extraordinary things. That's a fun match, though. I'm happy we got to do this. As 76, we've obviously had better junior heavyweight title matches, but this is not a bad one. Not a bad one at all. 73, though, for our segment, and he is back. So the idea here, you get the entrance again from Moxley's Worst Nightmare, as far as the coffin is raised up, and the fire, you have, them getting, the chained up by by the House of Black members, Malachi Black, and as far as El Kukui and Rob Eagles, but from behind it is Tyler Black, who's big shit-eating grin, and just as far as in the music plays to his music, or the music transitions rather to his music, and he, Moxley's Worst Nightmare, he's got the belt, there's a gimmick through his mask where it's basically, he puts a hole in it to where it's, like he's biting down the belt, and Tyler Black takes it out of his mouth, and he has the ring, and it looks like there's been a change of plans. Listen, card subject to change. It looks like we have a new U.S. champion, and it looks like it's back to Tyler Black. Obviously, Tyler Black never lost the belt. The whole plan was, if somebody would beat somebody from House of Black was to beat Jon Moxley, this would be the belt back for Tyler Black, and that's exactly what has happened. It's, it's a belt he never lost, and thanks to Moxley's Worst Nightmare, he's got it again. So with this change of plan, holy shit, Tyler Black got 100. What a match here. Holy shit, as they have great chemistry, and it worked out really, really well here. Curb stomp win for Tyler Black, though, and yeah, with the time off, it's, big change. A big change there with going from Moxley's Worst Nightmare to Tyler Black. A completely different shift of a matchup and that dynamic. With, and this also gives Kingston some credibility. As far as, obviously he didn't know that it was going to be him and Tyler Black. He's preparing for a whole new opponent, or a whole different opponent. So it caught him off guard. Could have been the main event. I thought about it. I definitely thought about it. I mean, that's a good idea. That's a hell of a match, though. Good luck topping that. Yeah, 74 for the women's title matchup as Julia gets outperformed severely here over Kris Statlander. And that's her 5th defense. My God, she's defending that belt all over the world. And she gets the win with the crossbody. Though, thought about it. You thought about it, but that'd be a very, very quick reign for Julia to kind of drop the belt in a month's time. Felt like it wasn't necessary, but Statlander, though, has proved that she could definitely be a great Gaijin champion. I would even say her that rivals what Ashley Flair did with the belt. Then our main event, though, for the New Japan Strong Openweight title, Kazuchika Okada with the Haju Bomb over Hiroshi Tanahashi in 33-22. And after the show, both men have, as far as you see Tanahashi puts the belt around Okada. You're seeing this kind of new kind of respect for each other. Obviously, these two men were kind of the polar opposites of what the 2010s, with having Tanahashi being the established ace and Okada being the up-and-coming rising star and the guy that wanted to take that mantle from him. And now, throughout the kind of the young punk Okada, the Rainmaker character with the ace character, who is kind of the antithesis of a give it as all white meat babyface. Now we've seen a different shift. Now we've seen this Okada character now it's more zen. It's this monk-like character where it's more respect. It's more seasoned. It's more mature. But this Tanahashi, though, obviously, it's a different Tanahashi even to what we saw throughout his kind of prime years. He's at the back end. He's a little wobbly. The knees are giving out on him. He's not as fast as he once was. But there's for this tone, there's something different in the air. Right? There's something like, wow, this was almost a passing of the torch, if you will, with the way Tanahashi really made this, kind of grand oath to be like, this is the guy now, and almost like he's handing off the baton. And for Okada, gets on the microphone. Oh, it's supposed to be. Oh, we skipped all the way through it. All right, so. Oh, I guess not. Oh, it's in out of order. I see. So yeah, it was out of order. So we'll just no, we'll go back to it. All right. So here's the promo, which we send it off with Kazuchika Okada thanking everyone for coming out. 61,000 people. He remembers coming here with New Beginning in the USA in front of 4,000 or 5,000 people back in Vegas and at the Walter Pyramid, if you will, back then, and how much New Japan has become a global force. And he thanks everyone for coming, but he says that it couldn't have been possible without this man here, and Tanahashi, as far as what he laid the foundation. He brought him out of the dark ages. And, as far as for him to have to step into the ring with him again one more time meant the world to him. And that he hopes everyone, gets home safely and whatnot, and is doing his countdown. And, as far as the plans for him in 2026 is to be the best version of Kazuchika Okada that anyone's ever seen. He's going to keep this New Japan Strong Openweight title for as long as he can, because he wants to be a champion that America loves and America can, respect, as far as he wants to be on par with some of the best top, as far as American wrestlers and the American champions. And before he, sends it off to Tanahashi, just like, hey, I want to say a couple of things. And, as far as with Okada letting him grab the microphone, and Tanahashi, and, as far as Tanahashi at this point, I would say knows a bit of English. Maybe more so broken. I don't think he'd be fluent at this point. I don't think he's fluent. Maybe he is, though. I could be wrong. I could have swore he's not. Really, mainly, Okada is definitely fluent. There's a couple of Japanese towns that's pretty fluent, but definitely Okada's probably, has, some of the best English that, Nakamura obviously too. But yeah, you get the gist of it. But Tanahashi, thanks everyone and says, as far as when he was getting on the flight, he just was thinking, man, it's kind of the way his career has panned it out. He never would imagine performing in front of 60,000 in America. Never would have thought it. And, he said, when he got to the arena, he got to this big football stadium, there was something different. He's done something different in the air when he was warming up in the back. He was, taping up. He just felt like this is it. This is the last time, potentially. He just could feel it. Feels like his body isn't able to hold up as once that it could, and says that this is, you all got to see the start of the retirement tour for the Ace. And, as far as everyone just like, oh my god, what is going on? Tanahashi's announcing his retirement. And he says this, I can't think of a better guy to start his retirement tour with than Kazuchika Okada here in America. He says maybe if he can hang on just a little bit longer, maybe he'll be able to say thank you again to everyone at Wrestle Dynasty, of course, in August. But it says, for now, it's not goodbye, it's potentially see you later. And he, strums off with a solo guitar act. And then that's where the press conference comes in, where everyone in the press, the Japanese press, are like, what the fuck is going on? So Tanahashi's going to retire. And he's just like, yeah, listen, I'm 49. I'm not the kid I once was. I don't want to be somebody that goes down on the bottom of the card opening up the show and looking like a nostalgia act. My body it's fading, but he still thinks that he has enough to have one last run. That's the plan. One last run at the belt, one last run at potentially becoming, he says he's got the New Japan Cup on the horizon. Says, I haven't won that thing in almost 20 years. To think about his last New Japan Cup was 2008, and of course he won the first ever one in 2005. So to think that he's eyeing that to be tied with Hiroki Goto as being a 3-time New Japan Cup winner, and he thinks that he can win it and become the heavyweight champion and end out on top as the IWGP Heavyweight Champion once again. So that's some shocking developments from this New Beginning USA show. Try to keep it hush-hush, as far as from that perspective. And then we have Tyler Black with his post-show press conference, just kind of laughing about that maniacal laugh of his and just saying, did you miss me, type of thing, and saying, boy, I missed being out there, I missed having this, the U.S. title, and said that what Moxley's doing with it was a mockery. Sure, he tried to give everyone a chance here, the House of Black, to win this belt back for me, but I had to go into the far depths to find a man that was crazy enough to beat him, and I did, and I can't thank him enough. He was his worst nightmare, and he sent him to hell, and I hope I never have to see that son of a bitch again. Says it, but for my first challenge back, against Eddie Kingston, sure, Eddie probably didn't expect this. So the New Japan office told me if I was going to come in and have my first title match here in America, I was going to have to defend it again in Japan. And told me Claudio Castagnoli gets the chance. So Claudio, come Sapporo, you get your chance at greatness again. Now, I don't remember. Oh, yeah, rather, I don't remember. I do remember. I was the guy who beat you for this belt the first time around. I'm going to beat your ass again. As far as with Tyler Black, feeling very confident about being back. Feels like he's in the best shape that he's been in a long time. That the time off, it was needed. More so than just, he feels like he's caught his second wind again. He feels like this could be the year of House of Black. He's eyeing the New Japan Cup. He's eyeing all these things where potentially he's like, listen, if I lose to Claudio, God forbid, that New Japan Cup's mine, as far as from that perspective. So, pretty fun. A pretty fun little press conference. Really Tyler Black in his element there, as far as the arrogant son of a bitch that he is. But yeah, it's a fun little show. Fun little show there. As for, we're going to put over Okada. Put over Tyler Black, obviously. And a big hug to the Ace. So the retirement tour for the Ace, it's upon us. Hard to believe. And so now we're on to the Japan side of the tour. Of course, we'll have 4 Row 2 shows, 2 before the Sapporo show, then 2 before the Osaka show. And we'll run through the cards once we get to the kind of back to this normal page, potentially. It's going to take forever to load, as always. So, we'll just, we'll be there for once we load up the first tour show here. Alrighty, so, again, we'll have to bring it up through the pre-booking page, I guess, as, we'll probably run, Chubu's never a bad call for the first day of the tour. Not bad at all. Yeah, we'll run here. That's fine by me. Alrighty. So, as far as for the Sapporo, the Sapporo and the Osaka show. Oh, I was mistaken. I was thinking the Sapporo show was the Claudio Tyler Black show. It was the Osaka show. Just great. So yeah, Never Openweight title matchup though. Hiromu and Sonata. Main event. Then the co-main for the IWGP Tag Team titles. United Rage taking on Claudio Castagnoli and Shotaro Ashino. As it just feels like that's a fun first challenge for Claudio and Ashino. Of course, they beat Zack and Volter for the tag team titles. So this is a great chance for them to, as far as to have a chance for not only revenge if you're United Rage, but also to continue this Suzuki-gun United Empire feud. And Daichi Hashimoto and Leono Fujinami against Konosuke Takeshita and Fuminori Abe. Again, new beginning as far as for Konosuke Takeshita. He's got no title matches. Really, his big plan is to just stay in shape, make sure that he can get the win over Daichi Hashimoto come the anniversary tour, and then obviously you want to be at your best for Sakura Genesis. So here's a man that is basically preparing non-stop for the next 4 months. Well, I guess if you started after he won in January at Wrestle Kingdom, to go from that to all the way through, he's preparing for one thing and one thing only, and that's Sakura Genesis. So whoever wins this New Japan Cup is going to have to earn it. That is for sure, because they have a very, very tough task ahead of them come that Sakura Genesis show. Of course, Suzuki-gun United Empire, 8-man tag. That will be, I believe, as far as for Suzuki-gun, it will be Hook, it will be Takanori Ito, it will be Fred Yehai, and I want to say Tozawa in that 8-man tag. As for United Empire, I believe it's Lee Moriarty, Drew Gulak, Gresham, and Makabe. As far as from that regard. Then Dark Order versus Dragon's Den 10-man tag. So all of Dragon's Den versus the Dark Order of the Will Hobbs, Calvin Tankman team, obviously. You get Brody Lee in there as well. Evil, and then Black Taurus. So that's going to be an interesting 10-man tag. Task Force Death versus House of Black in a 6-man tag. As far as on that show. Which will be, I want to say, Tyler Black is not involved in that match. I want to say. I could be wrong. It might be Tyler Black. It might even be Moxley's worst nightmare on that show. Now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a 6-man tag. I don't know why I'm blanking on that right now. But yeah, as far as from that perspective. Of course, that's going to be Kingston. A little maybe potential rematch, revenge, if you will, for Eddie Kingston. And as far as he's going to be teaming up with Kenta. And I believe Shota Umino on that as well. Hana Kimura and Starlight Kid versus Ashley Flair and BB Crawford. Tag team matchup there. Women's tag match to be exact. Between Hana Kimura and Starlight Kid. And Ashley Flair and BB Crawford. Of course, they're looking to potentially get another crack at Julia for the women's titles. A little build-up match there between those two. So we might see a singles matchup between either Ashley Flair and Hana Kimura. Or even Ashley Flair and Starlight Kid to determine who's going to take on Julia. Open the contest, though. Los Ingobernables de Japón against Designers of Perfection in a 6-man tag. That will be Hiromu, Naito, and SB Kento against Sanada, Taichi, and trying to remember who's the third guy. I don't think it's Tomoya Tom Ford. I believe it's Aizawa Collection NYC. As far as from that perspective, and then the New Beginning in Osaka show. We have, of course, the main event, Will Hobbs and Tamura for the IC title. U.S. title matchup, Claudio Castagnoli versus Tyler Black. We also have Tanahashi, Fujinami, and Daichi Hashimoto against Blastoff, which will be Konosuke Takeshita and the Astronauts, Fuminori Abe and Takuya Nomura. Then we're going to have Sanada and Daichi against Hiromu and Naito in a tag team matchup, of course, building up to, as far as after the aftermath, potentially, as far as who's going to be the Never Openweight champion after Sapporo. Then Koji Kamai against Mexa Blood. And that's going to be a 6-man tag. That's going to be Ryu Lee with Samurai del Sol and Dorada against Kazuchika Okada, Francesco Akira, and then El Hiro del Airbender. So that's going to be a fun little 6-man. Kingdom of Strong Style versus Flight Club. I believe that's an 8-man tag. So I wish I would have put that down because I believe it's going to be Nakamura, Kushida. I want to say it's Shelley and then Narita against Flight Club of Hayata Jr. Vegeta, Dante, Martin, Shane Strickland, and then Christian Casanova. I want to say that's an 8-man tag. Then a tag match between Eddie Kingston and Shota Umino against Malachi Black and El Kukui. Then Peace, Love, and War versus Suzuki-gun here. As that's going to be Shitoro Shino. It's going to be Yei-Hai, Tozawa, and Takanori Ito against all of Peace, Love, and War. Well, yeah, all that's here, so it's going to be Juice, Coughlin, Caveman Oog, and Barbara Cavadero to kick off that show. So pretty interesting. A lot of, kind of the undercard is stacked with a lot of multi-man matches for sure, which is, par for the course. But you're seeing, a lot of title matches throughout the 3 tours, obviously. The 3 big tour matches. Oh my god, 3 big tour matches. The 3 big tour shows. But they're split up kind of evenly. You get 2 on Sapporo and Osaka, then you actually got a lot more. You got 4 on the US show. So yeah, just kind of the way it's split up was kind of how that played out. So the main event, though, for this first night, that's a good question. So we have United Empire and Suzuki-gun, Tanahashi and Daichi Hashimoto against Okada and Yo. I don't mind it being for the main event for now, but Tanahashi getting a win after announcing his retirement last week. As far as United Empire and Suzuki-gun, yeah, this is definitely the main. As Okan, well, maybe not the main, because Rex Steiner's ended, unfortunately. But Josh Alexander beating Rex Steiner in 20 minutes. We got Brody and Black Taurus against Hayato Tamura and Kyle O'Reilly. It's crazy this is set for Steel Show, because this is going to be a really, really good matchup. But Tamura's going to beat Brody Lee. That's a hell of a win. And then we have the newest member of the Tokyo Cyber Squad, Himori Yanagi, as far as her and Hana Kimura are going to take on Donna Del Mundo as Athena and Saletta. As Kimura's going to beat Athena in 20 minutes. Nice little Joshi tag match. Then our Techno Masterclass matchup, Gulak and Moriarty against Suzuki-gun. So Yei-Hai beating Moriarty, so a little 1-1 there as far as from Suzuki-gun United Empire matches for this card. And then the opener, one of the newer Young Lions, Fumio Nakanawa, as he's taking on Taiji Ishimori. Obviously, Ishimori's going to get the win, but, starting off against a legend like, well, maybe legend's a little strong, but I would say he's a legend, goddammit. He's Taiji Ishimori. He's a hell of a hand. He's been involved in some great fucking junior matches, that is for sure. Junior legend, I'll say. How about that? Well, just kind of meet in the middle, as far as from that perspective. But yeah, main event, Tanahashi and Okada, a little fallout from the previous show, and also as far as now that everyone knows that this is, the Tanahashi retirement tour, everyone's, locked in to see, every chance they can to see maybe for their final time, Hiroshi Tanahashi. So as far as we're really milking that, as far as, because the idea of not announcing a retirement, the final show, it's going to make sure everybody wants to go see him, as far as before he hangs it up. So Taiji Ishimori and Fumio Nakanawa. So Nakanawa with a 10. Pretty brutal. I always forget to change his fucking movesets. God damn it. As he gets a 62. Got to show off the poor start, though. And it cooled the crowd a little. Just great. So now that the crowd doesn't give a shit, this match also now sucks. His Hook was really off his game. Yei-Hai gets the win over Lee Moriarty with the Koji Clutch. Would have been a good match. Would have been a pretty good match. Just brutal. 64 here for the tag matchup of Hana Kimura and Himawari Yanagi as they beat the Saletta Athena team. Missile drop kick from Hana Kimura in 1945. Nice little tag match, though. Especially for a Joshi tag match. Not bad at all. 78 here. And got the crowd back on track, as well as, we got a team with great chemistry and a team with excellent chemistry having a really good tag match. As Tamura and O'Reilly getting the win as Tamura with the Hayato driver over Brody Lee. Just sucks that Brody's just, he's getting, he's declining pretty rapidly, too. It's very sad to see. 75 for the co-main. United Empire, Suzuki-gun Pearl River Plunge from Josh Alexander over Rex Steiner. Yeah, Rex is still stinging up the joints. I mean, 4 guys are off their game. That's crazy. Shotaro Ashino at least showed up and did his fucking job. So thank God for him. And Suzuki as well, as he did some good work ringside. Our main event, though, 77. Tanahashi with a high fly flow over Yo. Tough break for Yo there as he loses in a pretty miserable performance from him as well. 20-minute matchup, though, for Tanahashi and Hashimoto against Okada and Yo. I mean, Hashimoto's almost performing at the same level as Okada and Tanahashi there. That's kind of crazy to think about. Yeah, I mean, the tour show didn't really deliver as I would have liked. But yeah, it kind of got off to a weird start. But once it got rolling, it started being a pretty good match. Pretty good show. Alrighty, so yeah, I mean, the next show is our final tour show before the Sapporo show. So as far as hopefully nobody gets hurt or anything like that. And yeah, on to day 2. Alrighty, day 2. As we got a backstage incident. It's one of the new Young Lions, Don Marcotte. As he is brought for versus court, accused of not joining the rest of the locker room for a night out, as the judge Shinsuke Nakamura found him guilty and sentenced to buy drinks for after the show. That man's getting paid maybe $10, $20. As far as not great to make him pay the tab here. So, as far as the main event, God, that's a good question. We got Designers of Perfection and LIJ, this little 6-man, to obviously build up to the Hiromu Sanada matchup, which I'm cool with this being the main, actually. Shingo's going to beat Taichi. Then we'll go Black and both Tyler Black, Malachi Black against Eddie Kingston, Kenta. Tyler Black's going to be beating Kenta. That's a huge win for him. Then we'll go Lucha Brothers versus El Kukui and Robbie Eagles. So technical masterclass matchup, so we'll bring this down a little bit. But the Lucha Brothers obviously going to get the win as Pentagon Jr. Oh, I love how I put both El Kukui and Robbie Eagles to lose. Yeah, we'll just have it be Robbie Eagles loses to Pentagon Jr. So that will probably mean... probably Andreas Miyagi and B.B. Crawford's probably the steal of the show. Yes, it is, that's B.B. Crawford. We'll be getting the win there in 12 minutes. Little Joshi match on the card. Then we'll have Pac and Umino against Bakan Okamoto and Kiyomitsu Kasai, as Shota Umino's going to get the win. Then Kushida in Tokyo Gonna have a little singles matchup with Kushida beating the Young Lion, obviously. Pretty straightforward. As far as undercard match, there's not a whole lot of build, technically, to the, it's really just more of, they're only building matches, actually, the main event. The rest are still kind of telling the story of Task Force death in House of Black. So there's that, and then there's, as far as Andreas Miyagi, part of the Tokyo Cyber Squad, and B.B. Crawford, part of the Four Horsewomen. So, as far as she's not really a part of the actual feud right now, but, that tag match is happening between Hana Kimura and Starlight Kid, so a little bit of that, I guess. It's just, obviously Miyagi's not involved with that tag match. It's kind of the thing there. Oh, yeah, we forgot to pick a venue. Almost forgot. Yeah, Oklahoma is a good call, because obviously we don't want to run Sapporo. Yeah, 3,000 people, that works for me. Yeah, last time I ran here was December, too, so it's been a hot minute. The 64 for the opener. Kushida with the Supernova Press in 9:52. Get a 68 for Shota Umino and Pac against Kiyomitsu Kasai, Bakan Okamoto. As, they have that excellent chemistry. Those are 2 young lions, and it worked out pretty well. Shota Umino getting the win. In 10-11, we got to give him his finishers. Shota Umino. It's an 82 for Ray Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. against Robbie Eagles and El Kukui. Good little matchup here. Obviously, the Lucha Brothers delivering in a big way. Eagles and Kukui were decent, but obviously, the 4 runners of this one are the Lucha Brothers. With that 82, oof. Yeah, B.B. Crawford still got a ways to go as far as working in Japan. 55 is pretty bad. But yeah, Andreas Miyagi losing, even though she outperformed her. Nice win for the 4 Horsewomen overall. 79 for Tyler Black and Malachi Black against Kenta and Kingston. The better team slightly. slightly there, but Tyler Black pinning Kenta with a curb stomp in 20 minutes. Doing it at 80 for the Designers of Perfection. And Los Ingobernables de Japón as Hiromu, Naito, and Shingo. As far as they do, in fact, get the win as Shingo with the Pumping Bomber over Tai Chi. Great little win. It's crazy Shingo's even worse than Naito. Obviously, they're kind of the same age, obviously, part of that 1984 kind of group. As far as, I think both guys are declining physically. Yep, they sure are. So is Tai Chi, too, yes. Kind of that's the state of the roster at this point. Not a bad little show. Kind of weird show. Again, it's a little hodgepodge of, like, we have the Young Lion match. We have two of them here. Which we know they're not going to be great matches, but obviously they're much needed for the development of the Young Lions. So I don't completely hate it, just kind of sucks that we couldn't get the show rolling afterwards, especially that Crawford-Miyagi match. That went terribly wrong. But as far as now, that tour show is over with, and now we're going to go into the New Beginning and Sapporo show, which I'm super excited for. I think Sonata and Hiromu's a great main event. And I'm hoping for a banger between those two, and I think it definitely will be. So, excited to see what we get as far as from this matchup here. Alrighty, we are here for the New Beginning in Sapporo show. So they didn't pick a venue, but we're here. As far as should be the Sapporo Dome. Damn, can almost fill it twice as far as 61,000. Honestly, 40,000 though on their feet for this one, hopefully, as far as fingers crossed. Something terrible happens. Where they shit all over that main event. As Francesco Akira set up a waffle bar and cooked for everyone. That's a lot of fucking waffles. A lot of waffles. And Satoshi Kojima and Hayato Tamura. So, Kojima's passing on tips on microphone work to Hayato Tamura. Boy, oh boy. So as far as, Tamura, AJ Styles, heavyweight title matchup last year. Is it Moxley and Juice for the U.S. title last year as well. The Bucks against Sonata and Bushi. Which, this was where the Sonata turn happened. So it's been 1 year officially to the day. That is kind of crazy to think, and now here he is. He's now been a heavyweight champion. He's won. No, he didn't win the. No, he won the. I was thinking he won the New Japan Cup last year. Yes, he did. He's won the Cup. He's. Well, I guess he's won the Cup. He made it to the finals of the G1, didn't win it, and of course he's been. I was thinking he had the Intercontinental title reign too, but he had the one when he was still a part of LIJ. But of course, the heavyweight title run. Granted, it was only from April to June, but it was a run nonetheless. And he's going to keep the belt here against Hiromu Takahashi. So, you're going to see some interesting things happening here. So, first of all, Taichi tries to interfere. Tries to use the mic stand. Tries to throw it to Sonata. Hiromu, though, intercepts, catches it, knocks him out with it, just plops him, throws it back at Taichi. As far as Taichi just hangs his head like, oh no, I just fucking potentially cost Sonata the belt here. But Hiromu, tries to get him up, and as far as trying to get a time bomb, can't really do it because Sonata's just out on his feet, keeps on dropping down to the mat like he's knocked out cold. And by the time the referee gets back up, Sonata's kind of recovered and he's come to now, and Hiromu goes for it again. That time bomb gets countered into a Sonata lock, which Hiromu doesn't tap out though. Then they go on a little bit longer, but then as Sonata is working, Hiromu still, out comes Tomoya Tom Ford. Now, there's more reinforcements here. The first one didn't work out, but this one does. But Naito, he's trying to get to the ring in time to stop this interference. He does not get there, though, so that's why it's going to be, as should be at ringside. Those knees are not as what they used to be. And, Tomoya Tom Ford and him are brawling up the ramp as far as once the 3 count hits, and Sonata retains after Tomoya Tom Ford interferes for a second interference in the match. Plus, you get Sonata with the moonsault as well. Oh, just a huge win. Huge win, and he retains. As we'll go through the post-show stuff here in a bit, because I just want to go through, obviously, the main card, which I did in the co-main. United Rage, Claudio, and Ashino. Is they're going to retain. Claudio's going to beat Katsuki Nomura. It's going to be a fun match, though. I'm excited to see how it plays out, at least. Then Hashimoto and Fujinami against Konosuke Takeshita in a Fuminori Abe, as Konosuke Takeshita is going to beat Leono Fujinami there in 23 minutes. Of course, our first really appearance for the new champion there, Konosuke Takeshita, in this tag match. Then Suzuki-gun, United Empire, the 10-man tag, or the 8-man rather, excuse me, the Dragon's Den Dark Order match is the 10-man. But yeah, it's Gresham, Makabe, Moriarty, Gulak against Tozawa, Yeihai, Hook, and Takanori Ito. Makabe's going to beat Tozawa. It's a nice win for United Empire. So again, splitting it down the middle with, as far as Suzuki-gun losing in the multi-man match, but the champions retain in the championship matchup. And then the Dark Order, Dragon's Den, 10-man tag, Brody, Tankman, Hobbs, Evil, and Black Taurus against Tamura, O'Reilly, Garcia, Roddy, and Show, as Evil beats Garcia. So a big win for the Dark Order here. That's a major victory in the 10-man tag. Task Force Death versus House of Black, as it's Kingston, Yumino, and Kenta against Malachi Black, Robbie Eagles, and El Kukui, as Kingston's going to beat Malachi Black. So a little win back for him. Oh yeah, no Tyler Black, no Moxley's Worst Nightmare or anything in that one. Then Starlight Kid and Anna Kimura against Ashley Flair and BB Crawford. Our Starlight Kid will beat Crawford there in 20 minutes, giving them a good bit of time, obviously, but this Joshi tag match hopefully delivers. Hopefully there. Then the opener, LIJ, Designers of Perfection. SB Kento's going to get the win here over Burberry Baba, Aiza Collection NYC, and Tai Chi. So SB Kento getting the win over Burberry Baba as a nice little win. And a nice little victory nonetheless. You love to see it. Hell yeah. As I forgot to, as in the Hiromu Sonata match, when Tai Chi gets sent to the back by the ref after the interference goes sideways, as far as kind of distracting the ref after he's thrown it in to try and buy some more time, and the referee finally just kind of sends him out and kind of bans him at ringside as he makes it up the ramp, and he doesn't realize that Bushi's behind him, waiting for him at the top of the ramp. He gets a mist and heads to the back with a misted face as Bushi kind of at least gets something over him to send him to the back. And just as far as for that moment and afterwards, with this match, Hiromu being so close, but yet, as far as some interference goes against him, and he is pissed. He's not calm and collected about this. He's throwing chairs, he's kicking the table, he's not a happy camper. And LIJ try to calm him down, but he's just kind of blaming a lot of guys. He's blaming Bushi, he's blaming Naito. It's just this is why did Naito, you couldn't get there to save, not really save him, but couldn't get there in time. Bushi, you just show up to take out a guy that's already been sent to the back. Why are you guys not trying to help us out? Well, I could be the new never weight champion, and they're just kind of trying to calm it down. But listen, we're not looking to cheat. We're not trying to be better than we'd be no better than them. As far as to help and cheat you to win, we thought you could do it, and especially after the first interference, we thought that was going to be it. Didn't know they had a backup plan, but Naito and Hiromu, they're just, you could tell that the tensions are flaring between really Hiromu and Naito, because he's blaming really Naito as far as those bad knees couldn't make the save to potentially be the X factor that he needed, and as far as finally gets to the point where Ibushi, Shingo, and Rush, and also SB Kento, they have to get involved, and they got to separate them. It gets a little hairy. Gets a little hairy there at the end of the post-show press conference there for LIJ. So Hiromu is not happy. Not looking good. Not looking good for LIJ, but maybe they can come together here. Still got some time. As far as, and also maybe the frustration showing for somebody like Hiromu, who's in the prime of his career, seeing somebody like Sonata, that was a part of LIJ, and now he's got his own faction, he's been heavyweight champion, and it's been a while for Hiromu. Last time that Hiromu's really held a singles title, God, I mean, it's been a while, as far as for him. Oh, didn't mean to hit Magistrate title history. Yeah, because, he was heavyweight champion 4 years ago, Intercontinental champion 4 years ago, and he was tag champs with Naito, but even then, it's been a long time since he's been a singles champion. I think that's starting to weigh on him. You can kind of feel that his prime is maybe slipping away. He's 36. He's now been with New Japan for 11 years now, and he looked like he was going to be somebody that was going to be a kind of star of the future. And now you're seeing kind of Konosuke Takeshita and Tamura kind of passing by. So it's been wild. Been wild to see. And for Hiromu, the frustration now, pretty evident that he is not a happy camper right now with that loss. We'll have one with Claudio and Ashina, mainly Claudio talking about how he's going to be now double champion. He's going to beat Tyler Black. And for, as far as another successful win, how they've kind of slept through United Empire, and it says, if Makabe and Gresham even went apart, and a piece of them, they'll gladly open the door for them. That it's, come on, and come all. Oh my God, come on and come all, rather, Jesus Christ. As far as for them, but they're, as far as, Lev, Makabe, and Gresham. Guess we'll go with overness. And also for Tyler Black. Good shit. We'll have that be here. Trying to think what will be the next one. Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. I was thinking maybe Starlight Kid and Hana Kimura. That could be fun. Yeah, let's have them. Has a Tokyo Cyber Squad. Coo. Hey, just them, talking about how big of a win that is, and how they're eyeing, both her and, Starlight Kid and Hana Kimura, they're both eyeing to become the IWGP Women's Champion, and now Julia's days are numbered as the champion. And just how, this is going to be their year. Type of thing. 2026 will be the year of the Tokyo Cyber Squad. But yeah, I think we're good to go with that. Let's run it. As far as 69 for the opener, not as good of an opener as we saw last major event, obviously. But SB Kento, the TKO Flatliner onto Burberry Baba. Yeah, that Designers of Perfection team, bit of a whiff here. But he gets to win the Flatliner nonetheless. The 78 for Starlight Kid and Hana Kimura against BB Crawford and Ashley Flair. Pretty good match here. Sliced bread number 2 from Starlight Kid as well onto Miss Crawford. That's awesome. Awesome win for Starlight Kid. And a great win for the Tokyo Cyber Squad as Kingston pinning Malachi Black with a blackout lariat. Love that. Rob Eagles and Kenta, two best guys in the match. That's crazy. Kingston and Malachi Black, one of the worst guys in the match as well. But yeah, as far as Yumino was really off his game too, so that makes him why he was the worst guy in the match in general. 81 for the 10-man. Evil with Everything is Evil over Daniel Garcia. Nice win for Evil, and man, how the tables are turning right now. You know what I mean? As far as kind of there's something in the air with the LIJ talent. You know, as far as now you're seeing Evil get a big win here. Obviously, Sonata to Hiromu in the main event. Like, there's just something going on right now with all of Lij. There's just they are the talk of the promotion right now with them, and obviously Tanahashi's retirement tour. Pretty good match though. Pretty great performance also from the Dragon's Den. Everybody, 75-74s from Roddy, Garcia, Kyle O'Reilly, and then tomorrow with an 83. Just show is way the fuck down there. Then we have Black Taurus, Evil, Haas, Tankman, and Brody Lee. Probably should have just had Show lose, to be honest. That'd been fine. And 82 for Suzuki-gun and United Empire. It's Makabe submitting Akira Tozawa with the Makabe lock. Hell of a match, though, for Makabe and Gresham. Good stuff there, and even Lee Moriarty with an 82. Everybody else just nowhere close to that. United Empire running away with that one. 86 for Daichi Hashimoto and Leono Fujinami against Fumino Abe and Konosuke Takeshita. Takeshita with the touchdown over over Leono Fujinami, rather. It's a great win, though, for Konosuke Takeshita, who is just rolling right now. It's in prime form. Tag team title matchups at 82, thanks to Katsuya Kitamura shitting the bed. Stretch muffler from Claudio. It's their first defense of the tag team titles. And they get a massive victory. Ashino carrying this one. Claudio with a 71 is pretty embarrassing, but that it is what it is there. As far as our co-main event, but our main event, it's a 91. The interference and whatnot, it pays off for the Designers of Perfection leader, as it's his fourth defense. He gets the win over Hiromu with that after the rounding body press after the interference from Tomoya Tom Ford. Maybe Tom Ford just a giant lariat, or just as far as he's just running right on through Hiromu Takahashi type of thing. Maybe even bulldozering him while he's trying to hit a time bomb or something. Just an idea where it just looks like he's always trying to get a win and just something always fucking happens to Hiromu, and the frustration is huge. That is for sure. As, that 69 for the segment. Really Hiromu, Naito, and Shingo, the top guys in this, which makes sense. And the frustrated Hiromu is not looking too hot right now. And, LIJ, they were just a strong unit. They were one of the strongest units. We've seen Evil turn on Naito. We've seen Sonata turn on Bushi. But as far as they have since recovered, but even then, that kind of golden era of LIJ, when you're seeing heavyweight titles running through with this group left and right, to think Shingo, Hiromu, Naito, and Sonata now have all been the heavyweight champion. It just doesn't seem like they're a cohesive unit at this time. Maybe they can change that, though. In our main event, Jesus, one of our last post-show press conferences there for Claudio and Ashino. Of course, they're potentially, throwing out the challenge to Makabe and Gresham. And Claudio's got his eyes set on Tyler Black, obviously looking to become the new U.S. champion. And then first Starlight Kid and Hana Kimura in their press conference, which did pretty well. I mean, they all did around 69, 68, so that's fine by me. All around, yeah. What a main event. Wish it was a little bit better, but we'll take the 89 for now. I'm just glad those two got the main event. Really for Sonata, too. To get another, pull another fast one over LIJ from the 1 year anniversary of him turning on him. Just a real kick in the dick for LIJ. And, we'll put up a Konosuke Takeshita. Alrighty. As we just have 3 more shows left for this episode. Got the 2 Road 2 shows for the Osaka show. And then, obviously, we'll be on to the Osaka card. And, it's Tamora and Will Hobbs. 2 beefy men gonna be beating the fuck out of each other. Is what that's gonna be. So that should be a lot of fun. And also, Claudio and Tyler Black. I mean, Tyler Black's just had one of the craziest performances at the U.S. show, so he's looking to continue that momentum and get a huge win here over Claudio, or Claudio Castagnoli will be the U.S. champion again and be a double champion as well. So we shall see how that card plays out. Alrighty, new beginning show day 3 here of the tour. As for this main event, I believe it's this Dragon's Den Dark Order match. Let's take a look. Yeah, this will work for main. Black Taurus going to be beating Garcia. Yeah, I mean, Daniel Garcia's been getting beat up a lot as of late. It's tough. Tough here. Yeah, you know, honestly, I think we're going to give it to O'Reilly. And unfortunately, Black Taurus is going to have to lose. But yeah, I think it's for the best. Now, this Okada, Francesco Akira versus Riley and Samurai Del Sol match. This is a banger, first of all. But Francesco Akira is going to get the win, too. He's going to beat Del Sol. Then we'll have LIJ and Designers of Perfection. It's a Steal the Show matchup here. So Sonata, Taichi, Paris de Silva against Hiromu, Naito, and SB Kento. So Taichi gets the win over SB Kento. That is big tough. I was going to do another interference spot, but I felt like that'd be a little too on the nose. That's pretty crazy. So another loss for LIJ. Kingdom of Strong Style versus Flight Club. Technical Masterclass matchup here. 8-man tag. Shelley's going to beat Christian Casanova. Oh, Nakamura's the agent. So yes, that's Narita with Kushida and Shelley and Nakamura of the Kingdom of Strong Style. Then Ashley Flair and BB Crawford against Tae Honma and Tom Nakano, as Ashley Flair's going to get the win. So that's a little win back for the Four Horsewomen. Yeah, and then for the opening contest, we got Tetsuya Endo against Hideo Oka. Of course, Young Lion. They're going to be losing to Tetsuya Endo. Nice little matchup, though, for Tetsuya Endo to get a win there. Yeah, I mean, it's the main, the co-main, and even, you know, a little bit before that, as far as before the co-main event, that 6-man between Designers of Perfection and LIJ. You know, a lot of building towards that final show in Osaka. And even so, Kingdom of Strong Style and Flight Club, you know, that's going to be on that show too. So we're just ticking all the boxes here for this Day 4 show. Well, we know that we'll be running Osaka, so we can run Kanto here. I'm trying to think. Yeah, let's just run Komazawa Gymnasium. That's fine by me. Here we go. As a 62 for the opener, Tetsuya Endo with the moonsault in 6 minutes, so pretty short. I kind of want to change that up. I really want the Young Lion matches to go around 6 to 8 minutes now, instead of 10. So just kind of an idea that I'm kind of toying with right now. There's Hideo Oka, though. He's solid. Stamina-wise, he's got some troubles, but that's a solid rating for a Young Lion. It's Christian Casanova and Shane Strickland and Darius Martin losing here as far as the Flight Club to Nakamura, Shelley, Kushida, and Ren Narita. Pretty brutal performance-wise from all these guys, weirdly enough. Shelley, best guy in the match, though, gets the win with the Shirin Yu over Christian Casanova. 71 for Flair and Crawford against Nakano and Honma, as they're relatively close. Just a couple of point difference. Here is Ashley with a figure 4, though, a 937. Nice little figure 4 win. Oh, there we go. As far as an 80 for the Designers of Perfection at LIJ matchup, as Taichi with a submission win over SB Kento. And yeah, just Hiromu, he's trying to be a team player, but obviously, just the losses, it is affecting his face. You know, or his face. It's affecting his mood. You can see it in his face, where he just kind of shakes his head and he kind of drops his head when he's sitting on the apron, watching SB Kento, you know, lose and tap out to Taichi. Just, you know, as far as you could tell, he's still frustrated. The 73 for Okada and Francesco Akira against Mexa Blood, as Francesco Akira pinning Samurai Del Sol with the Akira Salt. Samurai Del Sol and Ryu Lee, 77-78. There's 71 for Okada, 66 for Francesco Akira. So, wrong team wins, but it's still a really good matchup. Thanks to, obviously, everybody involved. Even Francesco Akira, to a degree, did pretty well. As far as 66, not bad at all. It's a good little tour show match. That is for sure. And the main event is 76 as the Dragon's Den team gets the win over Dark Order. Kyle O'Reilly pinning Black Taurus with the Brainbuster. So he outperformed Black Taurus too. Almost dead even. Hobbs and Tamura, just a couple points difference. O'Reilly, a couple points better than Black Taurus. And then Garcia and Tankman did the same. Obviously, Tankman dealing with his injury still, but all around pretty fun main there. I'm glad that played off. Yeah, I mean, that just kind of seems like our kind of flow right now. Seems to be around the 70, 80 mark. It's kind of most of our shows that are tour shows, which is fine. We're not trying to set the world on fire. They're mainly just, honestly, it's kind of weird. They're mainly used to not only promote the final shows, in the big time, shows, but they're also used to help elevate the young lions. That's the two goals for those tour shows, so it's not a terrible, terrible thing when they don't really deliver as highly as we like to think. But we do have one more left before we get to the Osaka show, and hopefully nobody gets hurt, because that would be very, very brutal to see somebody get hurt right before this Osaka show. Alrighty, the final tour show here for day 4, as we have for this is a pretty big night for at least Naito and Taichi. They have a singles match, which is a rare singles match on one of these tour shows. A lot of backstage incidents, though. Baka and Okamoto ran the move backstage after doing several funny cartoon drawings. Some of his colleagues doing some caricatures backstage. And Sonato's brought for Wrestler's Court, accused of being absorbed by his phone. He should have been paying attention during a locker room meeting. The judge, Shinsuke Nakamura, found him guilty and sentenced him a crate of beer for the locker room. It's interesting. And then Kojima's passing on microphone work to Tamura. So we have a couple of Young Lion matches, obviously, on the undercard. Main events, probably going to be this Order of Destruction Dragon's Den match. The straight up 2v2. Two teams with pretty good chemistry, as far as, especially with Tamura and O'Reilly, which Tamura's going to get the win. He's going to beat Calvin Tankman. Tankman's injury is just a little bit longer. I think he's got like a couple more days. Basically, it's this tour, and then he'll be ready to go back to 100%, so that's going to be nice. For the co-main, I'm going to go with, actually, this match. Oh, never mind. It's the Mascots matchup. It has Nakamura and Kushida beating Flight Club of Hayato Jr. Fujita and Shane Strickland. Strickland's going to lose there to Nakamura. Actually, Naito and Taichi should probably be the co-main. It's a Steal the Show matchup. It's only going to go 10 minutes, which is crazy. But Taichi, just his stamina is just not even there for a 10-minute matchup. Granted, it's a Steal the Show matchup, but still, like, that's brutal. Then we'll have Juice and Coughlin against Ashino and Takanori Ito, which Juice is going to beat Takanori Ito, so that's a great win for Peace, Love, and War. That is a hell of a win. Yeah, and then we'll have the Young Lion matches. So, Flyer against Yoritoki Suzuki. Flyer obviously going to get the win. 6-minute matchup again. We're just trying to test this out. Tag matches, though, it's still going to be about 10 minutes, as Miro and Brody King are going to get the win over Oleg, Bolton, and Oscar Lebu. That's not Lebe, I believe is how you pronounce that, actually. I always forget. But, yeah, as far as from this show, obviously, again, it's going to be in Osaka. So, yeah, we'll just run the BB Con Plaza. And we'll probably run the Osaka Dome for the final show. At least that's the plan. Yeah, we're good to go. Let's run it. Again, just hope nobody gets fucking hurt. Brody King and Miro. Good little performance there against Oleg and Oscar. It's a game of torture from Miro, getting the win in 9:59. Nice little performance there. 58 from Flyer and Yoritoki Suzuki. 450 splash from Flyer, getting the win in 5:54 rather. Decent little performance from him. 74 from Nakamura and Kushida against Strickland and Hayato Jr. Fujita. Actually went a lot better than expected, but still a really good performance from Kingdom of Strong Style, though, as they perform pretty well, especially for their age, too. I mean, both guys, Kushida and Nakamura in their 40s here. Still doing well. 82 for Juice and Coughlin against Ito and Ashino. As, yeah, decent little matchup here. Could have went either way. We want the slight upset win, though, for Peace, Love, and War. As Juice and Coughlin getting the win as Juice with the ball friction over Ito. Which obviously Juice outperformed Ito. But a pretty good match, though. Pretty good, especially at 82. That probably could have been a lot higher. Yeah, Taichi's just pretty much there from a supportive role at this rate. Like, not even from a main roster, like, active wrestler perspective. He is just the drizzling shit. But at least we get a win for Tetsuya Naito with the Destino. In our main event, it's an 83 Order Destruction, losing to Dragon's Den. It's Tamura pinning Galvin Tankman with the Hiato Driver. Will Hobbs gets a chance for a major victory over Hiato Tamura here just in a couple of days. And for Hiato Tamura, he's looking to successfully defend his Intercontinental title for the first time. This might be a big night for Dark Order, or it will continue on with the Dragon's Den, with Hiato Tamura looking to still be the Intercontinental Champion. Not a bad tour show, actually. That went a lot better than expected. That Naito Taichi match kind of sucked, but that's kind of crazy that the match with the Young Lions did the same rating as that. Yeah, I mean, we made it through. Nobody got seriously hurt, thank God. And on to the final show. Alright, we start off with the Osaka show with this 8-man tag as Peace, Love, and War lose to Suzuki-gun as Takanori Ito pinning Caveman Oog after a German suplex with a bridge. As so Barbara Cavanero, he actually got hurt during the New Japan Strong taping that just happened. So pretty brutal that we were almost unscathed with injury until that Strong taping. Luckily, it's going to probably take around a month or so to get healed up. So it could have been worse, but it sucks that he's going to have this injury for a good bit. But yeah, I mean, obviously this is Ashino's kind of bread and butter here. Coughlin, second best guy in the match, that's pretty impressive. But yeah, I mean, just a solid little opener. For the 55,000 on hand as Kingston and Umino beating Malachi Black and El Kukui. It's the back fist to the future from Eddie Kingston as another big win for Eddie. El Kukui with a 68. That's actually pretty impressive. Best guy in the match. It's an 81 for the Kingdom of Strong Style versus Flight Club as it's Top Flight with Hayato Jr. Fujita against Kanji D'Amato, Rin Narita, and Shinsuke Nakamura. I really wanted to give those guys a showing. And Rin Narita gets a win too, with a Narita special number 1. Yeah, I mean, Top Flight was way better, as far as from an overall team perspective. Hell, Dante and Hayato Jr. Fujita almost outperformed Nakamura, so that's pretty crazy to think about. Yeah, it's a really good match, though. An 81, we'll take that. 85 for the Koji Kamai Mexa Blood 6-man. It's Ryu Lee pinning Francesco Akira with the, as far as, with him, him, Del Sol, Dorada, all just incredible stuff here. 85, 88, 94, that's very, very good. I mean, the fucking luchadors that we have right now on this roster is crazy. Literally, they all did better than Okada. Like, that's pretty crazy to think about. Yeah, I mean, that just shows you the talent we have. Crazy. What a performance from Mexiblood there. That's awesome. 86 for Sonata and Taichi against Hiromu and Naito, as Naito, Sonata in the ring, Hiromu, Taichi fighting outside. Sonata gets a Sonata lock, and Naito taps out in 23-19. So another victory for the Designers of Perfection. Two teams with excellent chemistry, though, having a really good matchup. As they head to the backside on Taichi, Hiromu helps out Naito up to his feet. But then, a kick in the dick. Oh, no. And he hits him with a time bomb. Leaves him laying. He heads not even to the back. He goes up through the crowd, out of the Osaka Dome, with, as far as the rest of LIJ come up to help out Naito. Unreal. So, looks like Hiromu has had enough. And with that, he might have just punched his ticket out of LIJ. Big shakeup here at, as far as what a crazy, I mean, New Beginning is just a tour to forget if you're an LIJ fan. Last year, Sonata, this year, Hiromu. Bad stuff going on with LIJ. Some bad juju going on. And that is tough. But we followed up with a 6-man. With Blastoff beating Tanahashi, Taichi Hashimoto, and Leona Fujinami. Everybody did pretty well in this matchup. Takuma Nomura is still not the same guy he once was, unfortunately. I think that injury really did do a big deal onto his just overall abilities, but man, everybody else did really well, especially Konosuke Takeshita with a 96. That's a heavyweight champion for you, being off his game and still one of the best out there. But Takuma Nomura hitting a Dragon Suplex win and getting a Dragon Suplex win on Tanahashi is very, very impressive, though. That's a pretty good six-man match, though. I'm very pleased with that. And then Claudio and Tyler Black have a banger here. The second defense for Tyler Black is Scott's Last Gift onto Claudio Castagnoli. Just a banger. You know, obviously these two guys, very, very talented and know how to work with each other. They've worked a couple of times together. And, I mean, probably could have been the main event. But the main event is the Intercontinental title matchup between between Hayato Tamura and Will Hobbs. The beef is here, and it sucks that Tamura was really off his game, because this could have been a pretty good little matchup. 24 minutes, Tamura with a jackhammer win over Will Hobbs. He retains, so no title changes on this show, but the biggest change being from this man, Hiromu Takahashi. He's dropped a huge bomb in Osaka, dumping his, the man who brought him into LIJ, a man that he's won the tag team titles with at Tetsuya Naito. And it basically goes through what all he's been feeling, the frustration of not only he feels like time is slipping away, but, as far as like 4 years ago, he was a heavyweight champion. He was, winning G1s. He was winning the New Japan Cup. He felt like this was going to be his decade to prove that he's the best of New Japan. And he just feels like he's been stagnant, he's been stuck in the mud, and he's getting out of the mud. And the mud being LIJ. And he says that he is not going to be joining another group. He feels he's a leader. And he's starting his own group. And he's putting everybody on notice that he is going to have the best group in New Japan Pro Wrestling today. And he's eyeing a big prize. That is the New Japan Cup. He feels like he can win it again, and he wants to take on the best of the best. That is Konosuke Takeshita right now. He feels like he can beat him, and he hopes that he also can get some revenge on the rest of LIJ as far as he wants to maybe, as far as he kind of hopes that the office is kind to him during the draw for the New Japan Cup. He wants to take on Rush. He wants Shingo. He wants even potentially Bushi if he shows up. Because as far as he has severed ties with LIJ, and he is really, really bringing and elevating his game to another level that no one's ever even seen from him yet. So really, he is feeling himself here. He is believing that he can elevate his talent and he can be back up to being one of the top players in New Japan right now. So this is what frustration can get you, and that is turning on the people that you've been a part of for literally almost a decade now, a little over a decade probably at this rate. And yeah, it's for him, it's time for a change. And as far as if that change comes with some success, we shall see. It's a 69 here from Hayato Tamura, as far as the post-show press conference, as far as celebrating his title defense, and just puts Will Hobbs over for the hard-fought performance from him, as far as that's a big motherfucker. He just kind of jokes about as far as he's a guy that brings it. It was a match that he was prepared for over a month now, as far as he was hitting the gym hard and heavy, because he knew that Will Hobbs was going to bring it. And, he, at times he thought he wasn't going to be able to pick him up for that jackhammer. When he put him up, he felt like he was going to have to drive him through the mat to beat him. Says that as far as the anniversary show coming up, thinks that he can get a title match from the office here. So he really wants to get another defense under his belt. Says maybe even at the New Japan Cup, he's I would say just hungry for more defenses. He's hungry to get back out there. He knows that he's got to strike the iron while it's hot. He's feeling like he's in a pretty great shape right now. Maybe a potential rematch with Konosuke Takeshita. Says that he's obviously going to be eyeing the anniversary show when heavyweight champion collides with the junior heavyweight champion. And our final promo was actually Eddie Kingston, as Eddie kind of hijacks the press conference and says that, listen, Tyler Black thinks that he's, hot shit and he's the best thing going today, and he's all smiles and happy and laughing about what's happened to his friend Jon Moxley, but he knows what he's done with him, and he threatens Tyler Black. He said, listen, you're going to get yours. You're going to get what's coming to you. We don't know, as far as with Task Force Death speaking, as far as we at, Task Force Death, they don't know what happened with Moxley. And they're gonna find out. They're gonna figure it out. And they know that Tyler Black knows. He's just not telling anybody. He's keeping it kind of up to keeping it a secret and making sure that wherever Moxley's at, that he is stuck there. Kingston is just threatening him and goes on a bit of a tirade as far as he's throwing chairs. You could see that it's not just like an anger, it's more of a frustration of just not knowing where Mox is, and it's kind of a thing where he's actually scared, but he's not showing the fear. He's, looking to be this kind of big, bad, tough guy, when he's actually, pretty nervous and kind of wondering, like, where the fuck is he? It's been a month and he hasn't seen him, and as far as, sure that he pulled a fast one on Task Force Death at the New Beginning in the USA show. And he even challenges Moxley's worst nightmare. Says, this big fuck that you brought in, I'm going to send him back to wherever you found him. So as far as he throws down the challenge, it's Strong. So as far as the next Strong taping, that you guys obviously won't be seeing, but we'll kind of hopefully recap it for you. As far as between him and as far as Eddie Kingston and Moxley's worst nightmare. So that's going to be a fun main event for that Strong taping. So a little hyping up Strong, a little hyping up for the anniversary show, hyping up the New Japan Cup. Obviously, with this Osaka show, it's a very unique kind of show. It's the end of a tour, but it's the beginning of a lot of exciting things going on throughout the schedule. And obviously, the New Japan Cup on the horizon being the big thing. But, that was a pretty fun tour. We got a lot of different things going on. Tyler Black was the fucking MVP, though, this tour. My God. Great matches with him and Claudio and him, and Kingston was awesome. He has just been putting on a hell of a display. I want to put over also I would put over Mexiblood in general as a whole. They were fantastic. Great showing there, and obviously Hiromu Takahashi is looking to lead whatever this new stable is to bigger and better things, it looks like. So a new group, Hiromu leaving LIJ, Tanahashi's retiring, a lot happening on that tour. And as far as 2026, it's shaping up to be a very unique one, with a lot of the major stars changing alignments, changing as far as their status in the company. And but man, our champions right now, I'm very, very pleased with both Konosuke Takeshita. I'm pleased with Tyler Black's performances. Tell you what, Daichi Hashimoto's really proved himself in just a short amount of time. He's been a pretty great junior champ. Obviously, Okada for the strong openweight title. He's been great. Ashino's been performing well. Our champions are doing pretty well right now. And with that, though, we will send it off here for episode 103 in the books. The anniversary tour is next. Of course, we'll be doing Konosuke Takeshita and Daichi Hashimoto in the singles match. I'm sure we'll have other things on the card. Maybe a New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team title matchup, since that wasn't on this tour. For Walter and Zack Sabre Jr., the co-main event. With maybe even a Overweight 6-man title matchup. Who knows? Who knows what's on the horizon. As we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.